Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to part 2 of the last Cloudia anniversary, 5th anniversary. So, I do have a few plans for today. I have a few notes for today, just in case. So we will be doing everything like normal today. We'll be looking at, obviously, the new unit and the arc. That's the main focus of today. We won't be doing any summons today, because I've already got him, somehow. I didn't do that many summons, I just did a couple, and managed to get him early, so I am kind of a bit more prepared today, because I do have him a bit more built this time around, and I think it'll be pretty fun. So what I want to do first is briefly check over the news, anything that I want to mention, because there are a couple new events and things, and there are some Sick Enhanced units that I didn't look at last time, and there's also some more Sick Enhanced units in this update, so I just want to briefly check over those, and then look at the unit and the arc, and start showcasing them, and all that normal stuff. So this stream probably won't be as long as the previous one, but I do know exactly what I'm doing, because I've got plans for today, so let's just first quickly go over the news like we did last time, but there's not as much to cover because most of it I showed in the last stream. Well, I'm on the Steam version right now, so it's not really ideal to show this because it opens up a web page, which is just annoying. Very annoying. There you go. Wow, how annoying that is. Anyway. Magic. Okay, I just want to briefly check over these because I didn't look at them last time. Just so people are aware of these, I want to have a look at these first, and then other things in the news, and then we can go with the unit and the arc, which I do think the unit's going to be pretty interesting. So, this was the last update. There were some, Sick Enhance added to these collab units, if you care about this. I didn't really care too much about them because these are all old units, and I don't think these Sick Hearts are going to help them that much, honestly. Like, yeah, they're okay, but the damage caps and taking less damage isn't really going to help them enough, I think. But there are some revisions with increasing their damage and stuff, which is alright, I guess. And there were some newer ones in the update today, so I want to have a look at that now. We have the Dr. Stone collab units now have their Sick Enhanced today in this update. This one was the these units, the mana sort of mana collab. I think what's good here is Jen's Sick Enhanced is actually pretty decent, I think, because he's just a support, so when a support gets Sick Enhanced, I feel like it's more useful than an outdated DPS unit. Like Kohaku is just not a unit that anyone's going to want to use because she's just incredibly outdated, and the damage caps by himself are just not enough to make her good currently. So I think Gen's Sick Enhance is something I may consider getting because he's still a decent support unit, and if you've got him, then may want to think about doing this because he can take a lot less damage now, and he also gets obviously more stats and stuff from his Sick Enhance like every unit does. But I just think this is pretty nice for him. And Chrome, I think Chrome's still a great farming unit. I don't have him, so I wish that I did get him, because I think he's still probably one of the best farming units. So having more damage caps and stuff on him I think is going to be pretty useful. Then some revisions for these units, I mean, whatever really, but I don't think this is going to be enough to make them good nowadays, but it's there. I guess that's kind of it for all the unit changes, Sick Enhance for the units. But there is a bit more main reason why I'm doing this. So this update today, obviously we've got Rei and the new SSR arc. We'll have a look at that after this. And I just want to briefly check over everything that is in this new update, just so you're aware of the current content that they're adding in this update. So there's a golden bonus quest, and this is not currently out yet. This does start on the 26th of April, and today's the 25th, so this will come out like tomorrow. So this will be interesting. Basically just more rewards. If you love that, can't go wrong with that. Now, the Temple of Transmutated Gear. I like this because this is a new permanent event, and I think this will be pretty fun. I've tried it a little bit, but I haven't really gotten that far. I just tried it doing I went into it and had a look at the cutscene, that's kind of it. So I will be focusing on this in my own time, probably later today, because I think this will be fun. So far, you can only get one equipment from this, but this equipment, this cloth is pretty nice. The only problem with this cloth is it's kind of limited of who can use it, because the one unit I would maybe consider using this for is probably Claude. If you're using him for PvP, then he could use it, but that isn't really, there isn't that much of a difference between this and, you know, the different Godforge cloth that we already have, which is take less physical damage and do more skill damage, kind of similar to this one. But I still think this will be very good on a couple units. It's just we don't have many that can benefit from this because it's only fire skill and special damage and damage cap. So I think it's good. I think it's a strong one. Definitely try to get this. I'll be trying to get this probably later today because I'm definitely going to be focusing on farming this and trying to get it because I haven't started it that much yet. But I do like this because this is a permanent event from today. So they plan to add more equipment. I think this will be pretty fun. And this is kind of like a step up from Godforge equipment. Probably. That's what it sounds like to me. It's just a step past Godforge equipment, which I like. And then all the normal stuff, normal events, there is a time trial that's not today, that's next Thursday, which will last for a week. And then after that, there will be some unit or something coming after the anniversary, I have no idea. But that's 2 weeks from now, so we don't have to worry about that yet. More login bonuses and stuff. So these tickets are for Kyle's banner, so we don't get any tickets for Rei's banner. So if you want to try to get the new Shift Rei, there isn't any way to get him for free or try and get lucky. You have to use crystals for him, which kind of sucks, but that's just what it is. Hopefully you didn't spend too many crystals on Kyle's banner because you don't really need Kyle that much. I do think he's solid. I'll probably talk more a bit about him later, but I do think Rei's definitely going to be the better option, and you shouldn't really be spending crystals on Kyle's banner. That's what I feel like, because you do get free tickets for Kyle's banner and you don't for Rei's banner. So I think you're better off spending on Rei's banner instead, or saving. Some random stuff from another login bonus, which is okay. That's going to be on the 26th as well, when the gold event thing is coming out. And then all the normal stuff that I don't really need to talk about. So that's basically all the news I wanted to have a look at quickly. Now let's get back into the main reason why I'm here. Is I want to go have a look at the unit and the arc now, because I need to do that. So, current banners that we have available, we have Beast Divinity Rei, which is a very weird name, and then Kyle, Knight of Pale Flame. So we got a Shift Kyle and a Shift Rei. I did expect that to happen, and I have finished the story not long ago. I finished the story quite quickly, and I won't spoil anything, but obviously since they are getting shift forms, you should expect them to show up in the new story, so that is what happens. Rei and Kyle both get a new shift form in the story, because obviously that's why they're releasing the shift forms. Whenever they release a story unit, they're pretty much always in the story at some form, you know, like Arch being melee did appear in the story, in the new current story, so it makes sense. The last 3 units have been story focused units, and I do like those story units, they're pretty fun. So now let's get into the unit. So Beast Divinity Rei, don't confuse this with Divine Beast Rei. They do have very similar names, which is very stupid, and I just think it's quite funny because the name is just very dumb. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it should have been, I don't know, something else. I don't know what else I could come up with, but Beast Divinity, just Divine Beast, Beast Divinity is just way too similar to me, but I'm not going to complain too much about that. He looks pretty cool. He is, I don't know how much to spoil, because basically they do kind of tell you in the unit, Sarah's Blessing, so when they release a story unit, it kind of spoils a little bit what happens in the story, or at least about the unit. So basically Rei is fused with Serra, that's why it's Serra's blessing on the trait. So he is a beast type, which is interesting to me because like Rain and Divine Beast Rei were both god types, and the only version of Rei that was a beast type was his first form, which was Magic Beast Rei, that was a beast type. So he's coming back around, he's made a full circle, now he's a beast type again, which is kind of weird, but he could have been a beast or a god type. It doesn't really matter too much, but I guess both kind of make sense in a way because he is a beast god type, so whatever, I guess. His stats are looking pretty good though. He's got some very good HP, I like that. Good health. Strength's pretty good too, defense is okay and mind is okay. Absolute resistance is looking alright, but he does have minus 32 earth, which will be a bit of a problem because I don't think he's going to be able to tank Guile at all. But Rei does look a little bit tanky. He does have a few tank type skills in his kit, but nothing aimed towards counter. They've kind of been ignoring counter recently, which I think is a good idea because counter was focused way too heavily for a while, like up until Guile and maybe even Gilbert. Up until Gilbert, that was kind of the last counter focused unit we've had, and after that they've been back to normal. That's what I would think. So minus 10 to dark as well could be a bit of a problem because we've got Freya as a dark mage. A lot of people have been using her. I know I have. And the rest of his resistances look pretty nice though. He's got 20 to thunder and light and 30 to ice. I think this will be pretty nice. No pun intended because it's ice, but yeah, he should be pretty tanky. I think good absolute resistances, but we'll have to see. Element resistances looking nice for a mostly damage dealer unit. He's got nil to stun and curse, which are the main two ones you want to look at for a damage dealer. Resistance to illness does help because he can tank a little bit of damage because he does have some solid HP, so I think that'll be nice. But you will need to increase his illness resistance even more if you want to get nil, so something to think about. Now his skills, so his skill 1 looks pretty nice. It is a close the gap skill 1, which we do like seeing. I like those the most because having a spammable skill 1 that's the close the gap skill, because your skill 1 is your most used skill most of the time. You can easily get your skill 1 apart from Guile, who's the outlier there, but ignore him. Just think of most DPS units, their skill 1 is the one that they use the most or have the most skill stocks of, so that's nice. And this is a 8-hit skill and it looks okay to me. I think it could be solid. The animations look pretty nice. It pushes enemies, so that could be useful maybe for PvP potentially. So he is a dual wield focused unit because, as you know, every form of Rei has dual wields. Like Rain has dual wields and Divine Beast Rei also had dual wields because he's a claw focused unit. So that's going to make his skill 1 16 hits, which is okay. It's kind of average. I think it's nice. Better than a 6 at least. Skill 2 is okay. It's a forward dash to close in for a medium area thunder combo attack, so it probably does have some range to it because it is a dash, and usually that means that, you know, it's not just really close range, it does have some like lunge to it, which is nice. I don't think it's a very fast skill honestly, but 15 hits for a skill 2 is solid. I think it's okay. So 30 hits for a dual wield skill for a skill 2 is alright. I think that's nice. I just don't think it's very fast. It didn't look very fast when I was watching it in the video. I haven't tried him out very much yet. I've just been focusing on the event and building him a little bit. So it doesn't look very fast. I don't think he's going to have very good DPS on any of his skills. His skill 3, medium area thunder combo attack followed by a wide area thunder combo attack. Not much to say about it really. There's no close the gap or anything. This skill 3 has 18 hits, so dual wield will be 36. I think it's okay. I do kind of like his skill 3 because it looks pretty fast. It's not super fast, but it looks decent enough to, you know, perform well, you know. So I think if I were to use him as a DPS, I'd probably focus on his skill 1 and his skill 3. I probably wouldn't really use his skill 2 that much because I just don't like the, you know, how slow it is. The animations look kind of slow, so I don't really like it that much, but probably what you would want to do is use a skill 1, get in there, and then start using skill 3 and spam your skill 3 until you've got none left, then do whatever. Then his special, powerful thunder combo attack to all enemies. Okay, sure, to all enemies, we do like seeing that, but I don't think his special is going to do very much. Maybe. I didn't really look too much into it, so I don't know how much damage caps he has for his special. But his special is 45 hits, so that's alright, but I wish it was more because 45 hits just isn't enough to be anything crazy, so I probably don't see myself using his special that much, but it's alright, I guess. So let's go on to the more interesting traits now. So I do think they're very similar to Lagrange or Divine Beast Rei, because they do kind of take some, you know, aspects of those units and put it in here. There are a couple aspects that are not on here, like I know pretty much every form of Rei has had some form of chance of a thunder extra attack on skills. Most of them have had that, I think all of them had, but this version of Rei doesn't have that, which kind of sucks, but I still think he's got some very good things. So let's try and have a look at straight one first. So this does remind me a lot of Divine Beast Rei, I think. Thunder damage 40% and damage cap 13,000. Pretty nice damage caps, especially for a dual wield unit, that's pretty nice. And this is all thunder damage and damage cap, so this will apply to all of his thunder damage, so all of his skills and all of his specials as well, which is nice. And now we get into the more interesting things about this trait. So, won't flinch from ice and thunder physical / magic attacks. I'm happy that he has this because I'm pretty sure that Divine Beast Rei also has the same thing, and I do like it because ice is the most used magic in Arena, and getting flinch from Blizzard is just incredibly annoying, and even people using Zekka's 4-gate magic is annoying because you just get flinch and die from that, so I do think this will help against that. And being able to not flinch from Blizzard is just a very important thing for a unit, and it just helps so much because if the enemy's defense team is focused on flinching your team and, you know, stalling or something like that, then he just won't flinch at all and he'll just ignore it completely, so I do like this. Not flinching from ice attacks is the main one there. Thunder attacks, only physical magic attacks, so he doesn't have anything related to counter here, so he will still get flinch from obviously 2P's counter attacks and probably die from those, but don't worry about that yet. Trying to think, I don't think there's that many thunder mages that people really use, it's mostly just ice magic, so I do think that's nice. And if anyone's using a ice or thunder physical damage dealer, then he won't flinch from that either. I just think it's very useful. I do like it, and it can help against some bosses too that do ice or thunder attacks, so I do think that's nice. And now it gets even better, if you didn't think it did. Give skills and special an anti-human type effect. This is great. As you know, anti-human type effect to Human Slayer is just probably the best PvP Slayer skill. Well, it is for sure. It's one of the best PvP skills to have on a unit, because most tanks, most supports, and a lot of even damage dealers or units in general for PvP are a human type, so having Human Slayer is just incredibly good, and I do like that he has this, but he also has an anti-brute type effect as well, so beast, plant, insect, bird, fish, creature, and then all of the human types. So he does have a lot of slayers, and this is great, because if you remember in the past, we've had units like Logzeus, who had the same thing where he had Human Slayer and Beast Slayer, I think. I think so, probably, but we have had a couple units that have had 2 Slayers and have had a lot of Slayers, but not every single Slayer, because that would be stupid. But yeah, we haven't had something like this in a long time, so A unit having Human Slayer and Beast Slayer, just very good. And this will mean that he's going to do a lot more damage against most enemies. Even PvE enemies like bosses, apart from god types and dragon types and stuff like that, I think he's going to do very well. And even, you know, human type enemies, going to do very well against those. Also, he takes 20% less damage from human types and brute type enemies, so that's even better. You take less damage to those types of enemies, and you also do more damage. This is covering a lot of enemies too, so I do like this. I do think this trait 1's very good. It's got a typical damage and damage cap. You know, you always get that on a trait, but the rest of this trait, very nice, because not flinching from ice and thunder attacks, and also getting a human and brute type slayer effect. Very good. I do like this trait. Now we get on to the trait 2, which is a bit more interesting, because this is something that we haven't seen on a Rei before, because this is called Serra's Blessing, so this is kind of like a Serra kind of buff, think of it like that, because this is like Serra's powers that she's infused into Rei, basically, or something like that. So that will start, and every 30 seconds after, give the unit the Spirit Maiden's release buff for 20 seconds. So you get this buff for 20 seconds at the start of battle, and then after every 30 seconds you get the buff again, so there's 10 seconds of downtime there, which kind of sucks, but the best thing about it is you get it at the start of battle, because that will mean in PvP you can get it at the start of the battle all the time, so I do think that's good. And as long as he's alive, he's going to continuously get this buff back, so that's nice. And then what this buff does, when you have this buff active, then it boosts his HP cap by 30%, which is nice. Basically gives him a 30% more HP, think of it like that. And it heals, and strength, he gets 30% more strength, which is a lot, it really is. And 10,000 damage cap, and when close to death, very greatly restore HP once. I think this is nice, and what's good about this is very greatly restore HP once. I'm assuming this is once per buff, so if you know, trigger this once and then the buff disappears and then you get it back, it probably allows you to trigger this again, maybe, which I think could be very good because it doesn't say once per wave or anything. So this does sound like a very good buff, and this is the only thing that this trait is giving, but I do think it's pretty nice, and especially for PvE, and he's a dual wield unit, getting 10,000 damage cap is very good. The only problem is if you're in a long battle where you need this buff to be active all the time, it's just not possible because there is 10 seconds of downtime. So in those 10 seconds of downtime you may want to focus on something else, like maybe focus on getting his SCT back, so then once he has the buff back again, then he can start spamming skills for those 20 seconds. It's probably a good idea. So I do think this is nice. It doesn't add too much for PvP in terms of damage, but I do think it's still pretty good though. It gives HP, gives strength. Those are two things that are always great, and damage cap, and basically equivalent to determination or something. I think it's nice. So he's got some good traits here. I do like his traits quite a bit. The trait 1 is very similar to Divine Beast Rei's traits. His trait 2 is completely new for Rei, but I do like it because it's a unique buff, and those are always nice to have. So now let's go over to these skills, because these should be good too. So he has a new anima, and as you know, or if you don't know, Rain has an anima which reduces thunder and dark resistance, I believe, by 20, and that was our main way to reduce thunder and dark resistance. But now we have a new anima, and it does make sense that he has this because you may in some scenarios want to use Rain instead to reduce the enemy's resistance. But now we've got this, which can reduce all enemies' thunder and light resistance by 20, and it also decreases their strength by 20% as well. I think this is a great anima, especially for PvP, but also in PvE as well. It's just very useful for like all content, because reducing resistances is so great in basically every part of the game. In guild battles, that's probably the most usefulness you can get from this, but in PvE as well, against certain bosses, this can be useful as well. And the fact that it reduces strength is great, because if you know, every other unit in the game that has this type of anima just has the cut resistance and it doesn't have any other effects on it, but this is the first anima that can reduce resistance by 20 and also reduce strength by 20% as well. So we have had Prefect of Godmere, I believe, had -10 resistance to light and something else, and also had another effect on top of it, but that wasn't 20 resistance. This one is, so I do really like this anima. I believe this will enable some team options now and maybe in the future because of this. So that's why I think this animal will be very good long term. Can allow you to build a full thunder damage team or a light team if you really want to because of this anima. I think it'll be nice. Ether Wing, I believe this might have been on probably Divine Beast Rei or something, or it's at least a similar magic skill to what they've had. Very greatly restore one ally's HP and HP recovery cap 3000. I don't know if it's a time stop, it's probably not, because I don't know, I haven't actually tried it. It would have been nice if it's equivalent to a God Heal, because time stop is just way better. Would be nice if it's time stop, but I don't know yet. Haven't really tried it. But I do think it's nice. Having some form of healing does make sense, since he does have Sarah's Blessing, so he is as you know, Lagrange Rei as a unit has usually just been about doing a lot of damage, but since he's fused with Sarah, and Sarah is a support unit, he does have some kind of healing potential, which is okay. HP up max, defense up max, fighting spirit max. Here we go. We're getting all the max skills, which I do like. They're very nice. He doesn't have strength up max, which is strange, because you would have thought that he would have had that, but it's fine. Having defense up max instead of strength up max is a weird option, in my opinion, but he does have some very good stats. I do like the stats, because even more strength, defense, HP, and even more here, so he's going to have a lot of HP, and he's going to have a lot of strength as well. His defense should be okay, but I don't think it's going to be anything special. We'll have to see though, but the fact that all of these skills here can stack, and you can add even more if you want, I think it's going to be pretty nice. Critical up to advanced aim vitals, sure. Anti-type boost, so just remember that this is because he's got Slayers on his trait. Sometimes I do forget, but you always have to make sure that you read the traits when you use the unit, because you could be thinking like, oh, I'm looking at the skills and he doesn't have any Slayers, so I'm going to equip like a Sniper Slayer or something. Well, that would be a waste because he does have it in his trait. The certain Slayers that he doesn't have are like God Slayer and stuff like that. The Divinity Slayer skills, he doesn't have those, but I still think it's nice. That will help. Anti-type Breakthrough 3 is more anti-type damage cap, sure, why not. Auto Grand Brave, even more strength, definitely can have a lot of strength, for sure. Thunder Armor 2, continuous Thunder Wall 2 effect to the unit, that's pretty nice. I think Thunder is like less earth damage or something. I always get them confused because walls effects are just kind of, I never fully understand them. I always have to check them just in case, because you would think a thunder wall would take less thunder damage. That's what I would think. Common sense means thunder is thunder, but it's not. Thunder Mega Drive and Giga Drive. It's very nice to see having Mega and Giga on the same unit. This does mean that you can equip Thunder Drive and High Drive if you really want to. That could be a good option for even more damage. You may want to consider that, because that'd be nice. And the drive skills are pretty good for damage. Thunder Drive Breakthrough 2, this one's a new one. Basically just gives more damage cap all the time, which is nice, sure. And then Thunder Attack Raise 4. Okay, I don't think we have Thunder Attack Raise 3 on an arc yet. We don't have many Attack Raise 3 skills on arcs at the moment. We've only got a couple. I know we have Light Attack Raise 3 because that was recently. Thunder Critical Raise. So he does have a few skills that he's missing, but you can easily equip them on him. That's why I think this is good, because you can put on Thunder Attack Raise 1 and 2, and you can put on Thunder Drive 1 and 2, well, Drive and High Drive. So that's why I think it's very good, because these skills that he has are skills that are not currently on arcs that you can learn on every single unit. So I do think this is very nice. Pose of Victory. He doesn't have any other pose skills, but just put them on him anyway. You definitely want to have Pose of Glory because he is a main damage dealer probably. Pirate's Feast, sure, recovers all SCT at the end of battle. I do like this, especially for PvE. That's basically the only case where it's good, but it does help for farming sometimes. More speed, Shockwave 2. Shockwave 2 is kind of underrated. People don't really think of this too much, but Shockwave 2 on a dual wield unit is very good. And Shockwave 1 with Shockwave 2 is just going to be very good for PvP mostly. So I do think this will be a very nice skill. It's very great. And then obviously dual wield makes sense. Gonna have a claw mostly. Unclad Power is a new one. When you don't have an armor, you get even more strength. Okay, sure. He's got so much strength. It is quite funny, really. I wonder how much strength he's gonna have. With all of these strength ups that he has, and the 50% strength and 20% and all those strength ups, should be pretty high, I think. Which means he's probably gonna perform pretty well against high defense bosses in PvE content, so that's nice. You can even put on Trisha if you want to, because you could have a claw. The second weapon could be anything else. Could be nice. Now we've got Claw Boost, High Boost, and Giga Boost. We don't have Mega Boost on here, but having all of these Claw Boosts is still nice. I do like them. They give more crit damage and physical damage. They're pretty nice. Now we get on to the more unique skills. There are a lot of these, and as you know, since the new Shift Kyle, they have improved the Sixth Enhanced focus skills, and I do like this because they are basically equivalent to a normal skill, but you can stack them on top of each other because it's technically a different skill. So let's start with these ones before the Sixth Enhanced ones. Adamantium is a skill that we've seen on a couple other units, I believe. Garland probably has this, and someone else. A couple units have it. When near death, defense on mine 30%, and based on how low HP is, then it's a maximum of 50%, so it does help a little bit with surviving. I think it's nice. It won't add too much, but it's helpful, I guess. Now, these skills I don't think we've seen before. When skill or special attacking boost damage cap by based on the unit's max HP, this is going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to see how this performs, really. Damage cap plus 700 per 2000 HP, and physical damage to guarding enemies 100%. This is great. If you know, Prefect of God Mia has something similar where she does a lot more damage to guarding enemies. I do like it. I think it's great. It's a very good skill. And what is interesting about this, yeah, it kind of has the equivalent to this, but for strength. It's quite good because it does allow the unit to be good long term. But what's better about this is the fact that this is on a dual wield unit. So if this unit is at 20,000 HP, then you're getting 7,000 damage cap from this skill alone for skills and specials, which is great. And if you put on every single HP up skill, then that's going to be increasing his damage cap even more. So I think in PvE, it's a good idea to just put on every HP up skill for even more damage cap. I think it'll be pretty fun. And the fact that he's got so much HP up skills, I think this could be pretty good. And his HP should be pretty amazing too. And now I'm thinking of a synergy where you can even put on a arc which gives HP as well. And then that will give him even more damage cap. And there is one arc that does that, which gives strength, defense, HP. That UR arc that I'm thinking of that I don't remember the name of, that's weird. Yeah, that one. Gives a lot of HP, so there are a couple things you can do with this, and I do like it, and I'm glad that they're doing more of this. And HP is a lot easier to build and get higher than it is than strength. And you can build a incredibly high HP Rei for sure, and it should be pretty fun. I don't know how it's going to perform, but I'm hopeful that this does pretty well. I think it will. There's no way that it doesn't. It should be great. So I do think it's a great skill. HP recovery from units active skills plus 30%. Nice. That's quite... It's okay. Not much by itself. When restoring allies' HP with active skills, also restore units' HP. Interesting. I don't know if that was proc Spirit Breath. We'll have to see. I would hope so, but it may not count as a... You know... It may not count to proc Spirit Breath. But this... Only thing this helps is the Ether Wing skill. So if you really wanted to, you can make him a healer, but I wouldn't recommend that. I just think you can make him a healer if you want. His healing is probably fine as it is. You don't really need to increase it. I think he just has a healing skill and some of these healing skills to help with it. Kind of like Summer Sarah, because she has God Heal and like 1 or 2 skills to help with the healing power, and that's it. So it's kind of like that as a bonus, really. It's still nice to have, because having some form of healing on a unit is just great. Golden Lion's Roar. Yeah, he does look like a Golden Lion, honestly. Enemies are more likely to faint. Sure, that could be nice, maybe. We'll have to see. Break 50%, and boss wave start. Give unit a break 250% buff for 15 seconds. So, this does sound like his breaking potential could be pretty good, but I don't know, because we haven't had a good breaker unit in so long, and we never really need a good breaker unit because we've got older units that are good at it. Like the DXR machine is still probably one of the best ones, probably the best one, maybe. And it's funny, yeah, I think that was the magic that I was thinking of. Is its AoE heal, and I think gives a buff as well. I still think it's okay though. It's probably a new magic on this Rei. We'll have to see what it does, but I still think it's okay. It would have been. You could just put on other healing magic skills if you really want to, like Stardust Heal. You could do that. HP 30%. Sure, even more HP. You don't need it, but there is more HP. This is going to stack with everything else that he has. He's going to have so much HP. And just think of it like this. More HP equals more damage cap. So this skill is basically giving him more damage cap, kind of, which is nice. Ice and thunder damage taken minus 35%. That's great, because that is all thunder and ice damage. So this will count towards 2P's counter damage, because that will be thunder. But I don't think it will help enough, but maybe a little bit. And you also get continuous critical and haste effects. So now he's got critical haste and the Grand Brave effect, which is nice. He doesn't have any form of auto speed, but he does have blessed speed to help a little bit with speed, but speed doesn't really matter too much when you have a closer gap skill 1, because you can just use that. It's no problem. So that's all of his main skills, right? But now let's have a look at these 6th enhanced skills, which I do like these a lot more than what they were previously. So the special boost, I never really care about this one too much unless it's a special focused unit, but he isn't really, so I chose not to get this one because some special damage and damage cap, don't really care enough about it. But the rest of them are pretty nice, I think. Critical up, so this is basically the same as crit up 1. Well, this gives 5%, critical up 2 gives 5%, so it's basically equivalent of another critical up 2. But this stacks, that's why I think it's very good, because it's another form of, you know, the same skill that we've already got. Critical up 2, basically equivalent to that. So, he has even more critical rate. I think this is great. Claw Mastery, when you have a claw, then you get 10% more damage, and a 5,000 damage cap. Very nice. Gotta love that. Breaker, so if he can be a decent breaker, this will be useful, because you get 50% more break when you have only 1 weapon. Well, he's never going to be doing that. That's why I'm ignoring that, because he's always going to have 2 weapons pretty much all the time. So this isn't really that much, but the good thing about it is it will stack. All of these will stack with the normal skills, so you can put on breaker skill if you want, because he doesn't have that, which would be nice. And then anti-type boost, this gives 20% more anti-type damage and 3000 damage cap to anti-type damage as well. Which is great because, as you know, he has a lot of slayers. He's got the human type slayer and the brute slayer as well. So even more damage there and damage cap when you're hitting those slayers. It's very nice, and it does stack with the anti-type boost as well, which gives the damage. It's basically like that. And then the final one, skill damage 20% to non-boss enemies. This one's great because this will apply in PvP. So this is great. Yeah, honestly, I think Soul Blade is probably one of the best arcs we've got right now for, you know, an arc that you can use on literally any unit you ever want, ever. Any physical DPS unit can use Soul Blade, I just like it so much. And you could, yeah, you could put on a claw plus a sword on Rei, and that's probably a good idea, and then put on Soul Blade. I think that's probably his best build for PvE, honestly. That would be great. I think Soul Blade is just kind of a ridiculous arc, because I've been using it a little bit, quite a bit, and it's so good. It's probably the best one we've got for like physical damage dealers. So Dog Eat Dog is a normal skill, but this is the 6th enhanced skill version of it, so you can put on Dog Eat Dog skill, which he doesn't have, and have even more damage. So he does look pretty good, honestly. He has a lot of health, a lot of strength, decent damage skills, some useful skills like Pirate's Feast, some healing, good anima. He does have a lot going for him, so I do think he'll be a very good unit, and in my opinion so far, he seems like a better unit than the Shift Kyle that we got 2 weeks ago. That's just what I think at the moment. I know Shift Kyle's very good. He is probably the easiest unit to build and just use, and beats probably the hardest content in the game, but he's just a damage dealer at the end of the day, and you can do it with other units just as well, so Kyle isn't something you really need. But Rei, this version of Rei does add more to your account, so I do think the value of Rei is higher than the Shift Kyle. At least that's what I'm seeing so far, especially because this anima does allow the unit to be good long term compared to other units. So yeah, I do think it'll be very fun, and should perform pretty well for pretty much all content is what I'm seeing. He has good skills for PvP and PvE content, so I'm definitely looking forward to trying him out at some point, and I do already have him, so we'll definitely be doing that a bit later on. Now I want to have a look at the SSR arc, and I'm glad it's an SSR arc because I was kind of expecting a UR arc if I'm honest, but I'm glad that it's not because we've had so many. Means I can skip this. So Amaria Farm is probably from the story, I think. The trait, thunder attack damage 25%, isn't that much, but it is all thunder damage, so it could be used on a lot of units, honestly. Non-weak point attack damage taken minus 15% is a weird one. Basically, as long as it's not a weak point, so that probably means as long as it's not a slayer and not an actual weakness, I think. Which is more situational and not really the best thing ever. Battle start, give one random enemy a strength and defense intelligence mind minus 35% debuff for 10 seconds. So I think it's okay, but I'm honestly not going to use it because it's just an SSR arc, and if you've got UR arcs and maybe even limited arcs, then you have better arc trait options than this. So for my account, I would not use this, but if you're a newer player or someone that just doesn't have as many arcs, this could be used on a thunder damage dealer probably, and trying to take advantage of this debuff. You could try and do that, but I wouldn't recommend it for PvP, just because it's not reliable, it's only to one enemy, and it's only 10 seconds, and it's not even as good as Theopolis or anything like that, which is 50%. Theopolis is 15% defense and mine for 15 seconds. So, I know it's a UR arc, but still, I'd much rather use that instead, you know, and this one's just one enemy, so not a huge fan of it, but it can have some use, I think. The learnable skills look okay. There isn't really much up here, really. Resolve Up, Thunder Drive, Skill 2 boost, Unclad Power. Probably won't really use these, and a lot of these, well, these three are definitely on other arcs already. Unclad Power for 8 SC, I probably wouldn't really use it, because it's just more strength for 8 SC. I mean, if I'm thinking about it, if you need more strength for trying to kill a high defense boss, then maybe this could be good in that scenario, but that's about it, I think. And then the last two skills I think are more useful. When you're hitting an actual weakness with Thunder, then damage cap 1000. If you have one weapon, then 2000 instead. I think this will be nice because it's only 4 SC, so you can use this on someone like 2P or even Rei for PvE content. Give them even more damage cap, could be nice. And then Thunder Ensemble, honestly, I think this skill is the main reason this arc's pretty good, because Thunder Ensemble allows you to build a full Thunder team if you really want. And this is all skill, all Thunder attack damage. It boosts Thunder attack damage based on how many allies have the skill. So you could try and have like a main 2P team or something. Have 2P with Thunder Ensemble and everyone else with Thunder Ensemble. That will increase 2P's counter damage by 30%. So I do like that. It's pretty good. Claw and Machine you can do, yeah. I do think Claw, there are a couple build options which I will discuss once we get to it in a bit. But the main ones that I'm thinking of right now are either Claw plus Machine or Claw plus Sword, probably the main two you want to do. There is a good Machine, which, yeah, there's the Thunder Machine, which has a chance to do Thunder extra attacks. That is probably one of the better options for PvE, so that's probably something I may want to consider using, because having a chance for an extra attack is just so good, and it's Thunder as well. But we'll have a look at that in a bit. Archive reward on this arc is actually pretty good. It's a non-attribute claw, which gives HP and strength. Makes sense, because it's probably for Rei. When using a attack skill, use 2% of max MP to boost damage by 15% and the damage cap by 2000. I think this will be good long term because it's another weapon that can increase damage cap, and on a dual wield unit, this is great. You can use this on literally anyone you want. The only problem with it is it uses MP, so if you're using a unit which has Honey Elixir and they use all of their MP, then don't use this claw. But if you know that you're going in with full MP on a physical damage dealer, and you have a support in the team to give the damage dealer SCT, then you may want to consider using this for more damage cap. That's probably the only scenario I want to use this, but it can be used for sure on literally anyone that can use a claw, pretty much. So, I do think it's a nice claw. The learnable skills are pretty good. Trait I probably wouldn't use, but you could use it if you want. So, I do think it's a solid arc. I just don't think it's worth pulling for because it's an SSR arc. So what I'm doing is I'm skipping it just because you're better off not trying to pull for an SSR arc, because you're probably going to get it later on anyways. So I'm just going to be hoping that I get this sometime in the near future, because having Thunder Ensemble will be very nice to enable a full Thunder damage focused team. And having a Thunder Ensemble with the Beast Divinity Rei would be a very good synergy, because then you're reducing all enemies' Thunder resistance by 20, and also increasing all allies' Thunder damage by 30%. So I think you could make a very solid Thunder focus team if you have this arc and the new Rei, for sure. So the one thing I'm thinking of right now is having Beast Divinity Rei plus Freya using Thunder Magic. That would be a good synergy. It probably won't be the best team currently, but I still think it'll perform pretty well. Then your other two units could be like 2P or something else. So I think there could be some good teams, Thunder focused teams, but because Guile exists, it's kind of not ideal to make a full Thunder team really. But it can work. So I do think this is a good banner. The only thing that this banner doesn't have is it doesn't have any UR arcs on this banner. There's only SSR arcs and obviously DOH units. But I do think Beast Divinity Rei is probably better than Kyle. But the Soul Blade arc is just so good that, I don't know, it's worth having this just because this arc's so amazing. But don't chase for a UR arc. Probably hope you get it from tickets, maybe, and probably do these daily pulls if you want. But if you want to spend a couple free crystals and you're deciding on who to pull for, I would probably recommend Rei over Kyle, if I would have to pick one. And those are the only current banners that we have right now. We do get a couple more tickets for this banner, which you could get Kyle or the UR arc from, so I do recommend to not spend any crystals on Kyle's banner just in case you get something from tickets. Or you could do some daily pulls if you want for the 100 paid crystals daily, because that's worth doing. But probably don't need to go super hard on Kyle's banner, if I have to say that. And we may have a collab or something coming up soon, so we don't know what's coming up soon. So just think about that. But I do think Rei will be the better option. So now let's have a look at the trading space. I want to have a look at his paid equipment. I haven't really looked at it too much, but I believe it's another 50 credential paid equipment. So let's have a look. We do have new events and stuff in here too. I guess I'll have a look at that in a minute. We did get a equipment credential ticket today. If you do the event stage, you get one. I haven't looked at what options I could get yet. I'm still going to think about it. So he has a claw. Obviously he'll have a claw because, you know, claw is his main weapon. Like Swing Beast Claw Band, sure. Is a Thunder Claw. Stats are pretty nice. Good strength and HP. And if you remember, HP is good to have because more HP, the more damage cap is going to have. And the HP from a weapon or any equipment is going to, you know, be increased even further from HP up skills that he has. So that's pretty nice. The trait on this one, it looks to me that it's kind of similar to Shift Kyle's paid weapon as well. Thunder damage 35%, okay. Damage cap 4000. This is great because he's a dual wield unit. So good for a dual wield unit. 4000 damage cap for a dual wield unit, just amazing. Critical damage cap 5000, okay. He does have some decent crit rate, but I'm never really a fan of crit damage cap. And physical and special damage taken minus 10%. So obviously this is going to be his best weapon to use, but I'm just going to say the same thing that I said with Kyle's weapon. You really don't need it because we do have some free-to-play options available, and this is just not worth 50 credentials at all. So I am going to say this right now, I'm not going to be getting it, so you don't need to get it at all because you just don't need it. You really don't need it. But if you have 50 credentials, then you might as well get it, because it's going to be his best claw option. Or if you're close to 50 credentials, then you may want to spend a little bit more to get it, but it's up to you. If I were to be at 40 credentials, I would definitely do the extra 10 pull just to get it, because I'm already almost there, so sure, might as well get it, but I'm not going to be doing 50 summons just to get one weapon that's only going to be used on this one unit, you know, it's not worth doing. Yeah. He can have a claw, and his other weapon could be anything else, really. But we do have a couple good Godforge claws, so you don't really need this one. We have a Thunder Claw available, and a non-attribute claw, which gives physical damage and some piercing. So you don't really need this claw. You only really need this if you really want to reach his full potential for PvE. For PvP though, you don't really need to use it at all. You don't really need it for PvP at all. But if you want even more damage cap, then it's up to you really, but I'm not going to be getting it. I wouldn't recommend it for anyone because I think it's too expensive for a weapon. But if you're close to it, or if you have the credentials, you might as well get it. But don't pull just to get it. If I had 20 credentials, I would rather just get a prism and not have to do 30 more summons just to get this weapon, because it's not worth doing. So yeah, it's a good weapon, I know. I just don't think it's worth getting, and it's not a good long-term weapon, because it doesn't add like any unique buffs or anything like some other units have in the past. Like Claude's paid accessory gives a anti-type, you know, immune to the Slayer effect, which is good long-term. Something like that's great. Or even Megius Sword gives even more damage cap to the Charisma, is good for long term. And even Lelouch paid Cloves is very good long term. Stuff like that that buffs the team are paid equipments that I would consider getting more over this. So I'm not going to be doing any summons today because I've already gotten the unit, and literally the only reason I wanted to summon on this banner was for the unit. So if you're summoning on the banner, obviously you're going to try and get Rei. At this point I would do summons, but since I don't need to, we're going to be looking at Rei in a second and starting to showcase him and build him a bit. I do want to briefly check over the trading spaces just to make sure there's anything I'm missing. Actually, you know what I could do is this. This is a smart idea. Get these 3 SSR gacha tickets, right? And then use them, because this banner now has the new SSR arc in it. So there's a very small chance that you could get the new arc from this one. So this is the only summons I'm going to be doing today. Obviously not going to be getting the new arc, but just imagine if it was, it would be nice, because having Thunder and Assemble would be amazing, but why did I do that? Obviously there's 3 reds in here, as expected. Obviously all dupes. Yeah, new SSR arcs get added to the pool as soon as they're released. So you can use your normal gacha tickets and hope to get it, but the chances of getting it are just so tiny that you really shouldn't be hoping for it, because there's so many arcs and units in this banner that if you want one specific thing, it's just not gonna happen. It's like equivalent to trying to win the lottery. It's just so low that it's not gonna happen ever. I know it's happened to me like maybe once or twice. The rate up for arcs, I'll tell you this, if you want the new SSR arc, the chance of it is 0.075%. So there you go. That chance, stupid, very dumb, but at least there's a chance. You have a chance at least, but don't hope, because you're probably not going to get it. Never pawn this banner. This banner's a scam. This banner's dumb. You never want to pawn this. If you pawn this banner, you're stupid. I'm going to say that. So that's pretty much everything for talking about the unit. I think what I want to do now is probably start looking more at Rei and testing him out. So let's do that. I did manage to build Kyle pretty well, so I've been using him a little bit. Haven't used him too much, but I did use him to clear the hard boss stage, and he just makes it so easy compared to, you know, other units, because light units are pretty good. Yeah, this stage is just so easy with Kyle. Funny enough, you can do this stage by yourself with Kyle and a healer, and it's just so easy. It's funny. So let's have a look at Rei, because I've already got him. I have learned all of the skills that I needed, so we don't need to waste time doing that. We can just get right into it. So let's have a look at recommended equipment then. Right now, he can only equip a claw, which kind of sucks, but I am going to put on machine and sword equip right now just to make it easier to check weapon options, because I know there are a couple swords and machines that you could use instead. So I just need to find that. So machine and sword. I've got everything learnt on him already, so we can just instantly use him. First of all, let's have a look at the claw options. So if you're going for a thunder claw, we don't have many, but the main one is this one. But this only gives regular attacks, anti-machine type, and dragon type effect only regular attacks, but the 20% thunder physical damage is pretty nice, and it also gives 200 HP, which will help. So that's basically the only good thunder claw. This one could be decent too if you got this one. Don't remember where it's from though. This one could be okay too, but honestly, I think using this one is probably the one I would consider using for PvP. If I were to use him in Arena, I would definitely want to use this one instead, because having a chance for attacks to greatly lower defense and deal damage is basically equivalent to piercing. It's like lowering the defense by 50% or something. It's very good. So consider using this one if you got it. And those two that I showed, Rising Murder and this one, are both Godforged claws, so you can get those free to play easily enough. For PvE though, I'm probably going to go this one, I think, because it has more HP, it's got more thunder physical attack damage, so I'm going to use that one for now. I will check for other claw options just in case, but I don't think there's really anything else. Yeah, there aren't that many other good claws, really. Ideally want to try and go for a Thunder Claw to allow his normal attacks to do more damage if you care about that. But if you don't, then just go for any claw that you want. But if you do get this Rei, then I would highly recommend to farm to get one of these claws, probably this one, because it's just worth doing. It's definitely worth doing. I would recommend this one, farming this one over this one, because I just use this one a lot more often than Rising Murder. So I'm just going to use Rising Murder for now, but there are a couple of other options, just not many. The second weapon, let's have a good look at swords first. So swords, obviously, easy options available. Anything that can increase physical damage, or, you know, thunder damage or anything like that. Muramasa will obviously be great, because it gives more physical damage. I don't think I'm going to be using a sword though. I'm kind of considering a machine, maybe. But let's have a look, see if there's any thunder swords. I don't think there's any good ones. Yeah, there's not really. Well, this one actually is pretty good because it gives machine type effect. So there you go. He doesn't have Machine Slayer. Here it is. Give physical attacks anti-machine type effect. You can put this on him. This would be very good. Doesn't give HP. I would like a weapon that gives HP, but there isn't really a big deal, really. But I still think, you know what? You can have this weapon plus the UR arc. Soul Blade, and he'll have almost, very close to having almost every Slayer. It's quite funny how many Slayers he would have. A lot of Slayers. So yeah, might want to use that. But let's have a look at the other sword options just in case. More physical damage cap, Sword of Lost Souls, all of those will be great. Critical rate, more physical damage, those will be great. Of course, isn't really anything else that I'm seeing. So yeah, but there are machines that you can equip as well. Main reason why I want to look at machines is because we do have a few Thunder machines. So Mecha Cannon Veldis, I would highly recommend using this for PvE content because having a chance to deal extra damage is so good for PvE, and it adds a lot of DPS, well, it adds a lot of damage to the unit in PvE. So I would probably use this, honestly. Having a setup like this I'd probably use for PvE all the time, because 2 Thunder weapons and having a chance to deal Thunder extra attacks, extra damage is very good. This one you could use for PvP in arena and stuff. I may consider using this. You know what? Having Bolt Cannon plus the other Claw would be pretty good. Having this, having a chance to greatly lower defense, and also the Claw that can do the same thing, having a chance to greatly lower defense. I think those 2 weapons together would work very well on him for PvP, but in PvE I wouldn't recommend this as much. I would definitely prefer to have Mecha Cannon Veldis over the Bolt Cannon for PvE, because the extra attacks, extra damage, just so valuable for a Thunder damage dealer, especially a dual wield damage dealer. Let's have a look at other machine options though. You could put on Trishula if you really want to. That would allow him to be used in literally all content, but I wouldn't really recommend that on him because he has the anima to reduce Thunder resistance. So I don't think you really need Trishula. It hasn't really been a necessary weapon anymore, which is nice. And yeah, there aren't really any other good machine options now that I'm looking at it, but the ones that I mentioned already, I would highly recommend those. And my number 1 option so far, these 2 weapons for PvE against bosses, this will be great. In PvP, I would recommend anything that decreases, has a chance for defense piercing, which Bolt Cannon would be very good. And also the Claw, this one, would be very good as well. So we do have some good Claw options and other weapon options as well. For accessories, this really depends on what your build is. It depends on if you're using a machine or a sword or not. But there are, I think there might be a few good useful accessories though. You know what, you could increase his HP by even more if you want to. Probably not a good idea though to do that. But it's funny to think about. You know what's funny? Actually, I kind of want to do that. I haven't even said what I'm going to do. There's an accessory which increases his HP by like 2000. An accessory with 2000 HP. Let me find it. This one. This will be very good on him, funnily enough. Because 2000 HP will increase his damage cap, right? But then this 2000 HP will be increased even more from his HP up skill, so this is technically more than 2000. So I kind of want to work this out later, not in the stream, but in my own time. I want to see the HP difference with him, with this and without this, and see exactly how much damage cap difference it is, because technically this is a good damage cap accessory for this Rei, which is funny to think about. But yeah, this could be used. I'm actually considering using it, but I'm just going to focus for physical damage right now, so I'm not going to be using anything like that yet. Obviously, Mithril Relief and anything that increases skill damage is going to be useful for him, of course. But what I'm going to be looking for... I think there is a couple accessories that increase thunder damage. This could be nice. Not much else here yet. Skill damage to non-boss enemies. You know, this gives HP. Having HP and strength is kind of what you want. That could be okay, and that is a free accessory as well. Hitting an actual weakness, you could use this maybe. Because he has a lot of slayers, and he's got his anima, so you could easily take advantage of this accessory. Yeah, this one's very good. I would recommend that, but I'm not going to use that for the moment. I just want to go with more generic ones that increase the damage all the time, like this one. Increases skill damage by 10%, so sure, why not? There is also the one that I missed. This one. Could use that if you have a machine equipped. Since I am using a machine right now, I'm probably gonna go with this, but let's have a look at other options just in case. I don't think there's really anything else. Actually, there was one that I wanted to have a look at quickly. There is something down here. Anything for damage cap would be nice, I guess. This one is what I was thinking of. Actually, this is perfect. Thunder attack damage. Take less physical damage. Gives 111 strength. 650 HP. This one's perfect for him. I would highly recommend to use this on him if you've got this, because this is just perfect for him. It gives everything that he needs for, you know, pretty much everything. Gives HP for more damage cap, gives high strength for even more damage, gives thunder attack damage, takes less physical damage. Definitely recommend using that if you've got that. You could use that if you're up against divinity enemies, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be using that. I think I'm going to use this build for the moment, but I am considering changing this build up a little bit, but this is just what I'm going to be using for testing for today. Just this as a base. Yeah, this Archive reward from Gilbert's banner. Not many people are going to have this, but if you do have it, this one is amazing for Rei, and it's perfect. It's probably his best accessory option. So if you don't have it, there are other options, as I've showed. You could use those instead, but I'm going to be going with this for now. Now let's have a look at what his stats are looking like, but I'm going to remove this sword equip because I'm not using that. And I'm also going to put on Honey Elixir, because that just helps. I like using it. There we go. So what is his stats right now? Okay, sure. 22,000 HP, 3,300 strength. This can be even higher. And I do want to mess around with building him a bit later. It's per 2,000 HP you get more damage cap. So 2,000 HP, 700 damage cap. That one accessory that gives 2,000 HP would technically give 700 damage cap. But HP isn't only damage cap, obviously it's HP as well, so let's try him out like this for now. I'm going to awaken first. I highly recommend to awaken him as much as you can, because stats on this guy, very good, because more HP, more damage cap, more strength, more damage. You're better off, definitely a good idea to awaken him as much as you can. See, I've awakened twice already, now it's already at 23,000 HP. Very nice, and 3,493 strength. Very good stats. So now let's have a look, try him out, actually test him for once. Which arc should I use? I don't know yet. I do kind of want to use that because I like it so much. Even though I don't have a sword equipped, it's still going to give him a physical damage. So there you go. and I've got this arc skill to level 10 because it's amazing. Let's try this out by himself. He is going to hit quite a lot of damage, I think, because he has Human Slayer. And he's got a lot of Slayers. I did finish the story not long ago. I finished all of that. That was fun. I think this story was pretty great. So we're going to be using this build with Honey Elixir and trying out this, see how he performs. So let's go see how this does. He's got 26,000 HP right now, which is nice. His HP can be increased by a lot more, and I do want to mess around with that a little bit later once we've done a bit more testing of his damage. But I do want to try like a full HP build just for fun. So 34,000 HP, damn, because of his HP buff from his unique buff thing. Let's use Honey Elixir. So, base skill stocks 442. Looks okay. Now let's see how much damage we're doing. We should be doing a lot of damage because he's got Human Slayer. So, and he's also 6th Enhance. He should be doing quite well. Yep. 73,000 damage cap on a crit. That's pretty good. Okay. That hit pretty hard. I don't know why that did. How do they die so easily? Okay, well, I didn't expect that to happen. I didn't even get a chance to use all the skills properly. Let's do that again. His skill 2 seems to hit pretty hard, unless it's just a skill 1 not hitting very hard, I don't know. Haven't even tried skill 3 yet. Yeah, I have the Pursuit, that weapon for extra attacks, because I just like it. So his hit counts will be higher than usual. So let me just check what I have. So on his skill 1 it should be 16 hits, right? But let's use a skill and see how many hits it does. Obviously 16 because it's a bad example. 17. 17. 19. That's better. I do like his skill 3 the most. That did 39 hits instead of 36. That's pretty good. I'm gonna do that again. I am trying to notice which of his skills is hitting the hardest, and his skill 2 seemed good, but I have to try that again. I could increase his damage cap even more if I use the arc skill, but I'm not going to do that yet. Huh. Okay. Well... Spirit Maiden release... Okay. His, like, first skill or something does more damage than the rest of them, for some reason. I'm gonna do that again. I do want to try this a couple times. I also want to try... Special, more HP, stuff like that. That'll be fun. $7,000 strength. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty great considering he's not fully built yet. I mean, this is base skills with 6th Enhance. Huh. Okay, sure. Okay, they're all dying too quickly because he has Slayer damage right now. Let's try a different stage. Let's just try the other stage, but his damage cap right now seems pretty solid, honestly. I like it. It's great. But actually, let me go in again with a different arc this time. So I want to try using this one. Cloud God Murder Uvis. Reason why, 20% more HP. Good HP. It's good. This will allow him to do even more damage cap, so this should be fun. You can increase his HP by even more than this too, which is funny. I don't even have all of the HP up skills on right now. 43,000, sure, yeah, great. There you go, more damage cap. uh, that's great. That's nice. Yeah, 42,000 HP. Uh-huh. Well, I can increase it even further. I don't have the or every single awaken, and he's only a level 111 right now. But there's something that I so desperately want to do, so I'm gonna do it. I just want to do this for fun. Every HP up skill that I have right now that I can put on. But wait, there's more. But wait, keeps going, there's more. Hang on, gets even higher than this. Yeah, that accessory. I'm not going to be doing the most viable build, I just want to do this for fun. Yeah, 100k, 78 HP, that's pretty nutty. It's pretty crazy. Which one I'm looking for? It's this one. So you give it to... Okay, good enough, right? Should be fine. Maybe. I put on that accessory. If I can find it. And then we'll see how this goes. How much HP do we have now? 50... Okay, that's funny. Let's go. Oh, I like being able to reach so much HP, but... Like, is this even viable? I don't know. How much do we got? 95,000. Sure, why not? This could be even higher, you know? I can go even higher than this, but... Okay. It can definitely reach 100k plus, more than that. So... Yeah, I like this. Great. Strength's pretty good, and defense too, because of Shift Gorm. Love it. I'm just going to use a skill 3 and see what the damage cap's like. They died. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't think they would die so easily. Well, that's funny. Okay. I don't know what to say about that, but sure, that wasn't on purpose. That just happened by accident. They just died. All I did was press a button and I did. Okay, let's go into the unit test play quests now. I'll do some more messing around with him in a bit, but it's funny seeing that much HP. It really is. And you can go even higher. You can go even further beyond. I don't know if it's a good idea to do that though. HP is not everything, but it helps. It's funny. So much HP. Especially on a dual wield unit. I don't know. Could you do like a full HP build with, and try and make him tanky? Probably not, but it's worth a shot. Let's try this now. Yeah, this is still base skills. He's got, doesn't say how much awakening is, but this has got his paid stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, every 2k HP is damage cap boosts. Every 20,000 is 7,000 damage cap. So at 40,000, 14,000 damage cap. Now you're talking good numbers. So one thing I haven't mentioned yet is he does have a unique accessory, which is this one. This one isn't max level yet. I don't have it yet because I need to farm the event. But he does have his own accessory, which increases HP by even more, which is funny. I don't know if I would use it. It may not be the best option, but let's try this. So, I just want to see how he's performing here, and try out his special, and have a proper look at his skills. 81,000 on a crit, sure. How fast can you spam this skill one? Not very fast, honestly. His buff will run out, so now his buff has ran out. If you try and use a skill, it's doing less. And he lost some HP, but in a couple seconds he'll get the buff back. Right about now. Now he's at 43,000 again. Great. See, I'm not a fan of his skill 2 just because it's a bit slow. If you see, initial hits are slow, last hits are okay. They're decently fast, but it's just not very fast of skill. You know, I do like his animations. He's like thundery and, you know, lightning bolts everywhere. It's cool. Skill 3 is probably my favourite skill that he's got. It seems to have good range. You know, a wide area attack. Looks pretty good. I wonder how many enemies it will hit in arena. Now let's try the special, because I haven't tried that yet. This does look pretty cool. It's cool, but doesn't do as much as I would hope, you know. They kind of combo into each other pretty well now I'm spamming them. That's pretty fun. Well, he's dead. I do think it's nice, honestly. Looks like good damage cap. Skills are decent. I don't know how well they'll perform in PvP yet, but for DPS, they don't seem incredibly fast. Like, we've had a lot of other fast DPS skills in the past, but they haven't been focusing on high DPS recently. They've been more focusing on, like, damage caps and, you know, stuff like that, but the DPS department is still on other units, and maybe Shift Levi is pretty fast, honestly. But he isn't going to be a unit you want for beating things as fast as possible, but it still seems like it's going to perform very well. I like the skill 1 for the close the gap skill. Skill 3 is very fun. I think his skill 3 will be very nice. Skill 2 looks okay, I just don't like how slow it is. I really am going to have to see how it performs in Arena, because I do want to try that out. I don't know if I'll try that today. I might try it. I think I will soon. But now, I do kind of want to try even more HP. Yeah, it's incredibly slow. I'm not a huge fan of it, but can't do much about it. I'm gonna just go with as much HP as possible on Shift Gorm and Rei, because more HP on Shift Gorm gives Rei more HP, so it's perfect. Don't know if I have HP armor, that one. Well, here's the thing, is Kyle's banner, you can get free tickets to pull in his banner, right? So it's easier to pull him. We don't get any pulls on Rei's banner. Also, I do think that Rei is a more valuable unit than Kyle, so I do think Rei is definitely the better option for pretty much everyone, honestly. But Kyle is not terrible. He's a great unit. I do like Kyle. I just think he's not going to last long term. He does allow you to build the current content in the game very well, but he's not something you need if you have built units already. You don't really need them that badly. So I would definitely recommend Rei, for sure. Now Gorm's got even more HP, I do want to give Rei even more, just for fun. I should really start using these Mother Souls because I've got so many. There are a couple that I can use, I think, just Fighting Spirit skills. This will be funny. I don't think there's really anything else that I can use for HP. Technically there's more, but this is fine. How are we looking now? Okay. We'll try this. They should reach 100k for sure. No way it doesn't. This gives highest allies max HP 20%. Yeah. There we go. Is this enough? This enough? I don't know, maybe not. Can't anymore. 105,000 HP. That's pretty funny. I like seeing this. Great. Good luck trying to kill him now. I don't think he's gonna die. At all, ever. Yeah. That's funny. It can probably go higher. Well, it can definitely go higher for sure. Now let's use a skill 3 and see what happens. 98,000. But wait. $100k, yeah. 104,000. Nice. There we go. Or 100k at least. It's nice. Well, it's funny considering I haven't built into damage caps and skills. I've only built for HP, which I know does increase damage cap, but you know, it's still funny to see this, and I'm not even built for. I've only built HP. I haven't put any other skills on. It's only HP skills, and that's it. So it's funny that this is possible. It could go even higher technically if I really wanted to push the ceiling higher. I could go higher, but not much point, because you would lose out on damage just to get more HP, and at that point it's not really worth doing. Because I could put on a weapon, yeah, I could put on a weapon that gives HP, like the claw. This one gives more HP. You could put this on, and some other weapons and stuff, but it's fine for now. It's funny that you can do this, and I wouldn't recommend this as a build, but you know, if he's hitting high damage, you could do something like this, sure, why not? And the reason that, because he can get high HP, I do think this arc will probably be one of his best arc options, for sure. So I would definitely recommend probably using this if you've got it. Even the arc skill would be kind of perfect for him, wouldn't it? Because it gives damage cap buff and a break buff. Take less damage. Yeah. Well, let's put on Great War of Ruin and try out his special in here, but he's gonna have less HP now. It's fine. Might as well use the anima. Have a look at this. Don't know how much damage it's gonna do. Probably, I don't expect much. Yeah, it won't. Well, it's respectable. It's alright. It's okay. Well, here's the thing. I could use another unit for more HP, but the problem with that is Shift Gorm's buff gives his defended buff to the lowest HP ally. So I can't really put another ally in the team, another unit in the team, because they would have to have higher HP than Rei. Is the problem. Lowest max HP. So if I were to min-max properly, I would have to do something like this. Maybe this would work. I can probably make this work. Oh, hang on. Even more from you. You know what? I might just do it. Maybe. I have to see. I don't know if it'll work. It should do. Yeah, it did, but I still lost out on HP because of some reason that I don't know right now, but it's fine. Put on the arc. That's what I need. There you go. That solves my problems. Now it should be good enough. Oh. Okay. There we go. My new record for highest HP. I'm gonna stop there because I could keep going and increasing it higher, but I still need to awaken him and level him up. So I'm gonna leave that there for highest HP. I think it's funny. It's good. I don't know what else to say apart from that, but you know, it's doable. Now let's kill stuff. There you go, 102,000 damage cap. Damn, that's crazy. Wow. Let's make it even higher. 103, 104. There we go. 107,000. There we go. I love that. That's great. Definitely a quite unique unit because of this reason that you can increase his HP by so much if you do something like this, but this isn't a viable build for PvP. I mean, you could, but HP increasing damage cap's only going to be useful for PvE content, so something like this, well, a team like this is not viable for sure, but you can still do something like this arc if you got it on a support unit. Like, I kind of want to try a team that I would actually use, but this is fine for now. I think it's pretty fun. I do want to try him out in arena quickly, just because I haven't tried that yet, and I do have a bunch of skills learnt on him already, so I should be able to do that easily. I don't know how he's going to perform though. I'm just going to put him in there. So, I'm just going to use the same team and build him with mostly just physical damage, and then I want to see what his damage is looking like, if he can survive attacks or not. I'm not going to be doing too many attacks, I just want to have a brief idea, get an idea of how he's performing. I already know what's going to happen. He's going to die incredibly easy, from Guile, for sure. It's going to destroy him. Probably. Maybe. It's my guess. I'm going to put on machine equip, because I will do that idea of using a claw and a machine. I think that'd be good. Proud Force, maybe not yet. Machine. So let's do equipment first, and I'll just put on a bunch of skills for damage and see how he does. I'm gonna go with these two weapons. These are great for PvP for sure. Definitely recommend those two. And then the last two accessories. Definitely the first one's gonna be the one that I showed from the UR arc. This one. And then the second one, I'd probably go with a revive accessory. I usually do one damage accessory and then one for reviving. I usually do that. So I kind of want to do that. Good enough. And now I can just go for all damage skills and then see how he does in terms of damage. I don't know what his damage is going to be like. He should do decent against most enemies apart from tanks and maybe, well, obviously 2P and Guile. Gilbert, probably not gonna do well against Gilbert, honestly. Probably gonna die, well, probably gonna not be able to kill him at all. Pose of Glory, Pose of Honor, put on Sharp Eyes, Spirit Breath, Sky High, all that normal stuff. Beast Repellent. Don't need a piercing. I'll put on Shockwave, or will I? I won't for now. He's got a claw and a machine, so for that reason, machine boost will be very good. Machine boost and high boost for sure. And then obviously skill charges are important. And decoy. Now we've gone over the limit. Sharp eyes for sure, and the other one, Savage Strike, Braver, that one. That's pretty much it. So I've got all the basic skills. Definitely gonna have to remove a few things, then I want to try it out. I don't think I need all of these. They're not really worth putting on. $11 SC left. $4. That's good enough. So I want to try this now. Got a decent build, mostly focusing on, obviously, physical damage. I don't know if I want to use this arc or if I want to use something else. If I were to use an arc on him, which one would it be? This one could work. Works for everyone though. You could use Sky Fortress Solaris, which I'm actually going to use that. And then just spar someone. Yeah. So, I'm going to target over here. I'm probably going to get killed incredibly fast because Cloudia melee, I have Pirate Feast, or Pirate Ship, so they got flinch resistance, so I'm hoping that I can use a skill 3 and kill him, but only skill 1 is close the gap, so I'm going to use a skill 1 on melee. And then a skill 3 on Claude, if I can. No, I'm dead, never mind. I should have expected that to happen. Oh yeah, I'm not going to flinch from... You're going to die. But this is going terribly. My defense is a bit strong right now. I did adjust this. I'm just gonna die. I think that's what's gonna happen. Good thing it's my own defense. That's all I can say from that. I shouldn't be sparring this team, I should spar someone else. This isn't... I didn't even showcase anything there. That was terrible. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if he's going to be doing well in Arena, honestly. Probably just, guild battles, maybe. But in Arena he can still help with not flinching, you know, from Blizzard. That was nice. Not doing very much to Renna, but I don't have Sorcerer Slayer on right now. I did a bit better. Still not killing her though, which is sad. Obviously I'm gonna die now, but I just want to try and do damage. That's it. Yeah, I'm gonna die now. Or not. I do kind of want to try and target Guile. And I also want to try attacking a 2P just to see... It's not bad. I'm going to try attack this Guile just to see how much damage he takes. He did survive that somehow. Now he's dead. Okay. Sure. Right. Yeah. He does still get flinch from dark magic is the thing, but as expected, I knew that was going to happen. I just want to see his damage. Not great at killing Renna. He probably would do okay if he had Sorcerer Slayer. He can survive Freya. Obviously not the Guile. Unless I do this. Yep. And now everyone's just about to die in like a couple seconds. There we go. But it was decent. I do want to go up against someone else though, who has a Guile and a 2p, just so I can see how he would perform against those, just to give me an idea. But his damage seems okay. I just think he's not the best for damage yet, but I do think it's probably going to be better in guild battles than arena at the moment. Fine. I do just want to kind of attack Guile and try and kill him and see what happens, but I'm not going to do that yet. That was nice. Yeah, he obviously dies instantly from that. I should have expected that to happen. I don't have him built tanky whatsoever, so actually should be fine. Why did you do that though? There is a bug when you spar sometimes where you randomly do more damage than you're supposed to. It's weird. Seems fine. Yeah, he just doesn't kill Gilbert whatsoever. I'm just doing this as testing. He can't kill a Gilbert. That I should have expected that to happen, but yeah. Okay. You know, he's better at killing obviously the weaker units, but he can't kill a Gilbert at all whatsoever. Melee's better at killing a Gilbert than him because Melee can inflict ailments. He's not going to work against a Guile whatsoever, but I haven't built him at all to tank that, so there may be some chance that he could, you know, work, but I doubt it. I just want to do a couple more. I want to try and find a 2p. Fine. So I just want to see how much damage he takes from a 2p, because then, you know, obviously he can't kill a 2p because she's Thunder, and a dual wield unit against a counter unit, well, especially 2p, is a bad idea. But let's just see anyway. Well, somehow killed 2p just because she didn't counter, I think. Again, it's not bad. Okay. That was alright. Huh. Interesting. Well, this seemed to go better that time, I think. I haven't tried the Shift Kyle in Arena. I've only tried him in guild battles because he's not really a arena unit, and I don't really want to try him in Arena. That seemed okay, but I'm just thinking about it. I would much rather use Arch being melee at the moment, just because my Arch being melee is at plus 30 and fully matched at the moment, and she's probably better for PvP, but I think Rei's value for PvP is probably more guild battles, but I don't think he's going to compete against Arch being melee, honestly, because she brings more than what Rei does. But I still think Rei's going to be a great unit, for sure, and you can build some teams around him if you really want to. He's just not anything game-breaking, obviously. I do want to try, you know, someone else. What else? He can't flinch from ice and thunder magic. That's the tank team. It's a good plan. He shouldn't do well against Garland. He's not going to be able to do enough damage against Garland, I think. Yeah, he survived the 2p, but it did trigger his, you know, awaken and his healing from his buff. So he isn't super tanky against the 2p, but again, I don't have him built to be a tank against counters right now. But now he's going to die, as expected. So yeah, you don't really want to use him against a 2p, especially because he's dual wield. Using a dual wield unit against 2p is a terrible idea. You want a single wield unit. See, he just dies from a well-built 2p, a tanky 2p especially. He can't do well against that. It's not bad, but it's not great either. Well, I still feel like Eliza's doing most of the work.
I can't move.
Which is true, but at the moment I still feel like Arch being melee's perform. I would rather use her at the moment. Yeah, he didn't really do enough. I probably just still need to build him fully, but in Arena, I don't think you're going to see many people using him. You're probably going to see a couple use him to try him out, but I don't think he's going to be a, you know, great unit for Arena just because the meta has changed to what it used to be like. And when Divine Beast Rei released, he was a great PvP unit, but then the meta has changed ever since then, so I don't think he's going to fit well into Arena, but in guild battles he should be able to fit in guild battles decently well. We'll have to see, but I do still need to build him a bit more before I can properly say how his performance is in Arena, but I'm going to leave that there for now because I could be here all day doing attacks and I don't want to waste too much time doing that. So there isn't much else that I wanted to do at the moment. It's already been 2 hours, which was longer than I thought was gonna be, but did manage to show everything I wanted to. The Temple of Transmutated Gear is the new event that I was talking about earlier. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm definitely going to be doing this soon, because it seems pretty fun. It's a new permanent event. Chance to get the maps. Interesting. Definitely going to have to do that soon. Basically got like 2 events on right now. We've got this one, and then the anniversary one, even though this one's a permanent event. Yeah. Guild Battle has an hour-ish left. I do have to check up on that. And I do need to keep focusing on Rei, I think. I do think this team was pretty funny. This team not super viable, but I do want to improve upon this and try and make like a super HP team or something ridiculous, but how can it be even higher than this? I don't know. I don't know if there's another arc that can give HP or something. This is fine. You know, I could put on a different weapon for even more HP for Escorn, but I'm not going to worry about that now. So, I think that's everything I want to do today. I don't want to spend too much more time, because I don't think there's anything else I want to do. That's pretty much everything for the anniversary. I think after next week, the anniversary will probably finish, and then there might be a collab or something else coming, I don't know, but I think in the past there has been an anniversary after collab after an anniversary, which does suck because you run low on crystals because it's just been an anniversary, and then there's a limited collab. But just be aware that they like releasing collabs a lot in this game, so probably save that in case, but I have no idea what they're going to be releasing next. Just gonna have to wait another 2 weeks. I think I have to leave it there. I have to do more tower trials. I've kind of been forgetting about that. So yeah, my conclusion for this update, I do think Rei is a pretty good unit. I do got to do more testing with him, obviously. His being able to increase damage cap with HP is very interesting. It reminds me of Kaine. Very similar, but instead it's for HP instead of strength. I think for that reason he does have some, you know, he can stay for a long time because of that. Because in the future, maybe we can get other ways to increase HP even more, which will increase his damage cap technically, or maybe we could even get more HP up skills. Like, there may even be heroism up skills that I'm not aware of that are on arcs currently. I don't think so. Like, if you could have heroism up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and even fighting spirit. Yeah, I could put on heroism up 1 and have even more HP. I should have done that. But yeah, he can be good for the future. He's more future-proof than Kyle, for sure. I do think his value compared to Kyle is a lot higher because of his anima. And for newer players, or literally any other player, any player, I would recommend to pull for Rei instead of Kyle, but I don't think it's a must pull, definitely not, because you do need like support units more than a damage dealer, and I don't think Rei is super important, but if you do like guild battles, then I do think Rei will be a bit more important for you, because you may start seeing some people using this Rei on their guild battles attack teams, and I think that's going to be a thing, but I don't know if that's going to compete against the current best attack teams, which I don't spoil because it's competitive guild battles. I don't really talk about that on here, but I do think it's going to be great. I do think the arc is nice, but since it's an SSR arc, you don't really need to pull for it. You can hope to get it later. The Kyle's banner is a decent banner, but since we get tickets for this banner, I'd recommend not to really spend many crystals, getting both of them is great. They would probably work well together, and I do think it's fun getting story-focused units, especially a Shift Kyle and a Rei are pretty like big units because they're like the main characters in this game. So it is nice to get them for sure. They're just not anything game-breaking like counter units and other units like that. And Arch being melee, I do place pretty high on the list because she brings so much. She brings ailments and everything, so I do still think Arch being melee ranks higher than these two units, which is funny, considering Kyle managed to beat Arch being melee by himself. Is funny considering Arch being melee is a more powerful unit than him in terms of unit power, but it's not always perfect, it's fine. But yeah, these banners last for quite a few more days. We've got 28 days for this banner, and this banner has 2 weeks, but I don't really recommend to pull on this banner anymore, because we do get a couple more tickets. I don't really recommend to pull Kyle unless you're completely new. If you're just starting out, then getting Kyle will be great, because he'll carry you through everything, pretty much, every content, every story stage. He'll just probably clear it all, mostly. The arc, what makes this banner good is the arc in my opinion, but the one thing holding it back is the fact that it's a UR arc. So I can't really strongly recommend to pulling this too hard just because of a UR arc, even though it's very amazing. So I think I'll leave that there for the banners. I think they're solid, but I don't think they're anything game changing that you should worry about getting. You know, you could easily skip them and you're not missing out on too much. So yeah, I think that's everything I want to say about the banners for now. Make sure to save up for in case there's any collabs or anything coming up, because we don't know yet. It wouldn't surprise me if there was. I do like this anniversary. They did bring a lot of updates in here, and I'm hoping they do bring more updates coming forward, because there have been a lot of people complaining about too many like PvP focused units and content releasing and arcs and limited things, and it does suck because I do realise that the rate ups on this game are kind of bad compared to other games, and we don't get access to many crystals once you're really far into the game. Like, I can't get many crystals because there aren't really any stages that I can do to get the crystals anymore, so it kind of sucks. But they are kind of turning it around in this update. At least that's what I've been seeing. They have released a new permanent event, which is this, you know, Temple of Transmutate gear for basically kind of equivalent to Godforge. I do like it because more PvE content, the better, because it is supposed to be a RPG game, and they did mention that in their like posts that they're trying to make it more of a RPG focused game and focusing on that content, which I do like. The new story was great. There is going to be some story content soon, in maybe like a month or two. There's going to be some more story content. I think probably 2 months or something. I wish they were more common though. But yeah, I think that's everything that I want to talk about this update. The Sixth Enhanced units, those were interesting. You know, I might consider getting Gen. I mentioned that earlier, but Gen might be the only one I'm considering getting to Sixth Enhance. You know what I'm waiting for is units like Amelia to get Sixth Enhance, or someone that would like Sixth Enhance. Roy would be great Sixth Enhance, I would definitely get that. And someone else, Jan, if she gets Sixth Enhance, which she will in the future, I think that she will be pretty good. Again, she'll probably start showing her face up a bit more in PvP content if she gets Sixth Enhance, because I would imagine once she gets Sixth Enhance, it's probably going to allow her to take even less damage from something. So, can't wait for that. That will be interesting if that does happen. That would be fun. So yeah, we're going to have to hope that more of these units down here get their Sixth Enhances, because I would like to see that. But yeah, I'm going to leave that there for today. I'm going to be adding the timestamps very soon. I'm going to have a break for the moment, and then I'm going to be continuing to farm the event and mess around a bit with Rei. Potentially consider trying him out in guild battles, but at the moment I can't picture a team that would be better than my current team, you know. For Arena, I will definitely try him out a bit more and build him a bit more, but I don't have super high expectations for him in Arena. I think his main value is definitely guild battles, for sure, and PvE is going to be great there. So, that's everything I want to say. Thanks for joining in this stream, and this anniversary has been pretty great, honestly. The anniversaries in this game, always very good, in my opinion. People always enjoy these events the most. I honestly like collabs in this game the most. It's probably my favourite thing, because collabs, even though they add limited stuff, they have a lot more unique things. That's what I hope to see. Yeah, I enjoy these videos and these streams. I'm glad that people watch these and enjoy these as much as I do, because I enjoy doing these a lot. I wouldn't do this if I didn't enjoy it, for sure. So, I'm always going to be doing this for every single new unit, at least for a long time. We'll have to see how long that goes, but I've been trying to be more free to play recently, and I literally, when I got this unit, I didn't spend any paid crystals. It was all just free saved currency, which was great. So I'm trying to think more towards the average player and what they would play like, and hopefully it's helping some people, and the timestamps should save some time for you if you're watching this. So yeah, I won't waste any more time blabbering on about stuff that you probably don't care about. So I'll see you in 2 weeks. I think that'll probably be the next unit. Next week is going to be a time trial, remember that. Time trial is next week, and after next week is another week, and then it should be another unit, so we'll be back then. I don't know if there'll be any other videos. I like making videos, I just struggle to come up with ideas and stuff, but got any suggestions, and just let me know, and yeah, I'll see you then. So bye, I guess. I'll do the timestamp soon.